Alright, 5.7, now we're going to try to solve quadratic inequalities. And to solve them, we do a rough sketch. But here's how you solve them. To solve them, factor this for me. Okay? Can you think of two numbers that multiply to give you negative 21, that add to give you 4? Well, I can. 7 and negative 3, right? 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. 7 plus negative 3 is 4. So I get x plus 7, and I get x minus 3. So when I go to solve each of these, I said each one equal to 0, right? This is what we did to solve by factoring. So that means I subtract 7, I get x equals negative 7. I add 3 to both sides, and I get x equals 3. So remember that. Negative 7 and 3. Negative 7 and 3. So because this is positive, that also means, if you remember from graphs, that my parabola opens up like this. So what that means is a rough sketch of my parabola would mean at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At negative 7 it crosses, and at 1, 2, 3 it crosses. So my rough sketch of a graph would look like this. That would be my rough sketch of a graph. I want where my graph is less than 0. Well, let me show you. This is where it's less than 0. From here to here, which means everything in between those 2 points. So everything between these 2 points is your answer. And that's how we would write in between those 2 points. So in between those 2 points is correct. With the next problem, what in the world here? The next problem, okay, the next problem that we have here, we try to factor that again. What multiplies to give you negative 45 that adds to give you that? Well, that would be a negative 9 and 5, right? When I multiply them, I get 45. Negative 45. When I add them, I get a negative 4. So that means we get x minus 9 and x plus 5. You can probably solve those by now in your head. One last time, I will separate them so you can see all the work, but you can probably just already figure out we just do the opposites. But add 9 to both sides, we get x equals 9 as an answer. And minus 5, we get x equals negative 5 as an answer. So 9 and negative 5. 9 and negative 5. What that means is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 it crosses, and at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 it crosses. And because this is positive, that means it opens up. So there's my graph. I want everywhere where it's greater than 0. Well, if this is 0, this is everything less. So that means I want this up here and this up here. What that means is I want everything that's less than negative 5. So I want everything that's less than negative 5, and I want everything that's greater than 9. And there's your answer. Over here, we factor again. What multiplies to give you negative 9 that adds to give you negative 8? Well, negative 9 and positive 1, right? When you multiply them, you get negative 8. When you add them, you get negative 8. When you multiply them, you get negative 9. So that means I get x minus 9 and x plus 1. So the opposites are your answer. 9 and negative 1 is the answer. 9 and negative 1. So 9 and negative 1, right? Well, there we go. So negative 1's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is right here. That's positive, which means it goes up like this, because I just need a rough sketch. Looking for everything less than 0, which means that's everything below 0, which means it's everything in between. And how do I write in between? From low to high, just like that. From low to high, just like that. And the values always go in that direction, from low to high. This one's already factored for me, so that's -2. And to solve that one, I would add 7 to both sides. So I get 3x equals 7. Divide by 3. So I get x equals 7/3. So I get 7/3 and -2. So 7/3 and -2. Here's -2. And 7/3 is like 2 and some change. So the graph would be like this. The reason I know it's positive, what's x times 3x? 3x squared. Notice how that's positive. That's how I know it's going up. So because it's positive, I know it's going up. I want everything less than or equal to, which means I want right in between those two. So remember, low to high. So low to high, there it is from low to high, and that's in between. I chose less than or equal to because it's less than or equal to in the problem. And there's your answer. Just like in this one, that's a +6 as your answer, and quickly that's a -7/6, because I would subtract 7, then divide by 6. I know that this is a positive graph because when I do that I get +6x squared. So what that means is at -7/6, which is about here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is about there, I have a graph that looks like this. So what that means is I want everything greater than 0. Greater than 0 is everything higher than it. So there it is, meaning I want everything that is less than -7/6. I want everything that is greater than 6. And there are your two answers. Alrighty, those were the two most important parts there. So if we want to, you guys can poll me and see if you actually do want these two answers if there's more time. So I'll keep them up here if you wanted to try them out. Just email me back, and if you were interested in those two answers, then I will put them back on for you. But if you have any other questions or concerns, please let me know.